I'm a sad man today. I'm sad because we, as leaders in this country, have tremendously failed. We have failed as parents, we have failed as leaders, and we should all be literally punished because of having failed. Our young girls, whom I can proudly say, we're here because we are preparing to bequeath this world to them. Mr. Speaker, sir, I can proudly say that I tried my best in my early years to address this issue of teenage pregnancy, to address these issues of early childhood marriages by rescuing girls who are forcibly being married off in Narok, who are dropping out of school. And I can proudly say that I helped over 25,000 of them. I was only hoping that it will pay it forward. Mr. Speaker, sir, I'm also sad that even these statistics, which the distinguished senator from Isiolo has raised an issue in terms of the Ministry of Health, are not even provided by our own government entities, Mr. Speaker, sir. These statistics have been provided by the United Nations Population Fund. And it is sad, because it appears as if we have now completely given up in our roles as parents, we've given up in our roles as teachers, and even trying to see what is ailing our community, we now just rely on statistics from foreigners. I think the first thing we should be asking ourselves is what is it that we can do? We know the risk involved. Mr. Speaker, sir, just being a teenager itself is so difficult. Now add the issue of pregnancy. Add the issue of preparing to become a mother. What we are subjecting our kids by not talking to them, by not putting more money into mentoring programs, we may never be able to pay for it. Mr. Speaker, sir, I thank Senator Haniri for really making this issue live that we can talk about it, not just reading about it in the newspapers. I am sad that my good county of Narok, which I'm trying to understand what is causing all these issues, because the Maasai population is still so small. And I'm wondering what is creating all these issues. Is it the food that people are eating? You know, is it the churches that people go at night? Is it is it some people who are completely sick that they think that the only way they can increase their population is by attacking their children? Mr. Speaker, sir, the distinguished senator from Isiolo talked about parents looking at their children with those school uniforms. You know, sadly enough, there are some who are sick enough to do that. I mean, some of these kids, Mr. Speaker, sir, are even impregnated by their own parents, which is annoying. It's a fact. It's a true fact that we cannot escape from it. If you look at these statistics, okay, Narok, 40%, Homa Bay, 33%, West Pokot, 29%, Tana River, 28%, Nyamira, 28%, Samburu, 26%. Mr. Speaker, sir, I ask myself, what is common among these counties which are named here? Poverty. The gap between the rich and the poor is so wide. When we were rescuing young girls from being forcibly married off, you'd be forced by an elder who will tell you, now, my son, this man is about to pay me about 40 cows. This will change me. It will make me live a little bit longer and provide the family. What do you expect me to do? Then you are like, no, you can't. You're destroying the future of this child. So, Mr. Speaker, sir, what we ought to do here is to make sure that we try and address this problem legally so that it doesn't happen. By so doing, we come up with very tough laws that will be able to prohibit anyone from trying even to think about sleeping with a young child and send them to jail. That's number one, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, sir,
you need
number
to wind up so that we give others what
which is important is that we need to now talk to our colleagues in the National Assembly. When we are working on the national budget, let us create a vote for mentoring programs, Mr. Speaker, sir. Each school should be given money for mentoring. Let us mentor these children. Let us prepare them for tomorrow. Because when we come here and talk about it, unless we come up with laws, unless we mentor our children, Narok will continue being like that. And other counties will follow suit. So, Mr. Speaker, sir, I support and I hope that both the health department, Mr. Speaker, sir, and maybe even the devolution can look at every county, particularly these ones which have high rates, and find a way that we can be able to come up with in-house programs that encourages both a bicultural approach to it. Because the biggest problem is that, which the distinguished senator from Isiolo has alluded to, it is cultural. Some of things, this punishment are cultural. So if we approach it from a bicultural approach, where we now say some cultures or some traditions are outdated, let's stay away from them. That is the only way we're going to have a solution. I thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Senator Njeru Ndwiga.